What's up, everybody? Sitting here in a park, random park. Thought you should know that, okay? So today we're going to be dealing with a few things. I don't usually like to just talk about one topic in my video, in my videos. I like to keep it on a few different topics because that's usually how I write my notes, So I like to keep it in line with however I write my notes. That wind is blowing, so I got to put my foot on the camera stand. I got a janky camera stand, all right? Just so y'all know. All right, so on July 1st, 2021, I was watching Friends again, and I wrote down something about, because I kept noticing that I keep talking about Friends, right? I'm going in order, all right, from my notes. So this is, almost 2 years ago. But yeah, I noticed that Rachel on Friends is always wearing some kind of animal print something, some kind of leopard print or some kind of, and I know we see a lot of people do that, but I bet what a lot of people don't realize is that's what's called sex kitten programming. Now, I don't even like saying that term, but that's what it is. It's sex kitten programming, okay? It's programming that is geared to make whoever's watching view that person as a sexual object or an object of sex, okay? I used to watch my mother wearing animal print stuff back when I was a kid, and I'd be like, I used to just think, oh, she likes leopards or African cats, right? She just likes the pattern of African cats, but really it's sex kitten programming, okay? And I believe that show Friends, along with a million other shows, right, was telling us exactly who we should be honing in, especially the males, who we should be honing in on sexually, right? And that's not cool. And there was a lot of young people that watch Friends, so that's extra not cool, all right? Extra. Yeah, so yeah, sex kitten programming. I noticed that, and it didn't sit right with me, and I thought I should bring that up, just so you notice. So when you see people wearing animal print stuff in the media and on shows and movies and stuff, just know, that's likely a form of programming, okay? Believe me or not, whatever. I don't I don't care. Yeah. Okay. So the next note from July 2nd, the next day of 2021. All right. An incident happened. Now, in another video, I told y'all I used to work at a mental health clinic, a 24-hour locked facility, 5150 mental health facility. Okay. Now, if you haven't seen it, check out that video. I talk about mental health workers. I think it's in the title. But yeah, this guy, right? I won't say his name, okay? But I will say that he was from another country, an Asian country, a common Asian country in nursing, all right? And he was like, we were really cool. We used to always talk about basketball and stuff, and we always had good conversations. He was a cool guy to me, he always brought food, whatever, right? Cool guy. But I guess he had some kind of beef with this chick that I was really cool with, or really I was, I guess, interested in. I shouldn't have been interested in her, but I was interested in her. But he had beef with her somehow, right? He had beef with her, and so he decides to one day record the conversation that she's having. Now, this conversation she was having just happened to be with me, all right? Now, he didn't mean to record me, and I believe him when he said it. But he straight up left his phone on the table, walked away, knew that we were going to be sitting there talking, and recorded that conversation, right? This is a coworker. Actually, I was a safety specialist, security guard, really. She was an LVN, a nurse, and he was an LVN as well, a nurse. So they were nurses. I was just, bottom of the barrel, security guard, whatever. So yeah, he recorded us. And then afterwards, he came up to me and was like, man, I can't believe what you guys were saying. Or basically, he couldn't believe that I sat through and let her basically vent. He couldn't believe it because he thought we were cool. And I was like, bro, what are you talking about, dude? And he was like, yeah, I recorded you guys. And I was like, you what? I was like, you what, homie? You recorded us? Who told you to record us? What made you? How do you even? How do you even get that idea? That's what I'm wondering. Who does that? Who does that? I mean, I know you're from another country and all that. Is that what they do there? I doubt that's what they do there. I've watched plenty of videos on the, I haven't watched too many videos on the work style of this country, but from what I see, they work pretty hard, they do their thing, and they support their families. And I like their martial arts. So, for you to be like that, I mean, you know, I just couldn't figure it out. I was squaring up with him, you know, to be totally honest with you. My spiritual principles weren't all the way aligned at that time. So, I was like basically ready to fight him. But then when I realized he was so afraid, you know, from you know, but like not really afraid. He was more hurt. He was hurt, not by what the lady said, because he expected her to talk some mess. I think he was just trying to get some dirt on her or prove it to himself or something. But like he was hurt that I even sat there and spoke to her while she talked that mess. He was hurt. He looked like he was ready to cry from what I did, not from what she. I was like, what the hell? I didn't understand the whole thing. So I threatened him in a not so aggressive way with physical violence, and then I walked away because I really wanted to do something to him, anything. But then I saw that how hurt he was, and then I felt bad for him. Mercy came over my heart, compassion came over my heart, and then I became a human again. But for a second there, I was going to that like other realm of like, you know, DGAF, where you just don't care, right? And yeah, so that's what happened with that. That was a weird situation. And I don't really wish that on anybody, because nobody should be recorded like that without their consent or permission, especially when it's just audio. Like, what are you, the feds, brother? I told him, I was like, hey, dude, who sent you, bro? Who sent you? Like who you work for, dog? What's their names? What's the acronym, dog? Okay? What you doing over here? But yeah, anyway, that's that, all right? So that's number 2, okay? Watch out for sex kitten programming. Watch out for people recording you. I don't know. Don't be so hasty to want to beat somebody up just because you feel like you got offended in some kind of way. Figure out the whole situation first, and then maybe you'll get a better understanding. I don't know, right? Try to find some good in that. I'm just telling y'all stories, right? I got to get used to doing this every day, so I don't got to. It's kind of fun and kind of therapeutic, actually, to be totally honest with you. I completely recommend it if you're willing to do this. But yeah, you know, yeah, I'm just telling y'all stories, true thoughts, whatever. Take it, leave it, whatever. But yeah, last thing. The other day, 2 days ago, I'm walking down the street. I see an old friend from an old church. I'm like, hey, old friend from an old church. We catch up, have a good time, you know, exchange numbers once again because our numbers have changed. Good things, good times, right? And then a big old guy walks up who, you know, is of my ethnicity, and I was shocked. I was like, hey man, you go to this church with this person? And he was like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay, because they don't have a lot of, you know, people who look like me in that church. And I was like, okay, cool, man, cool. And what I wanted to say was, bro, you look just like this guy from that show, 60 Days In. You look just like this guy that I saw on that show, you know, one of the later seasons. But I didn't do that, right? I didn't do that. He looked just like this guy. He could have been the guy, I don't know. But the show was from the South, so unless he moved from the South and came up here, but he looked just like this dude. I think the dude's name on the show was Tony. But he looked just like him, okay, in my mind, I don't know. Because I thought about it, and I was like, how many times and by how many people have I been approached and said, you know who you look like? You look just like, oh, you know who you favor? Oh, you know. That was when I didn't have any facial hair and I had my head shaved for the longest time. They kept telling me I look like Forrest Whitaker. And I was like, I didn't see it, right? But it was like, I wasn't just hearing it from like people I knew, didn't know. I was hearing it from every kind of person. People I knew, didn't know, complete strangers, whatever, just met them. I was hearing it from a lot of different people. And I was like, whoa, if people are like running over here to tell me that, it must be something, but I never could see it, you know? So I always hated that the people did that. And I used to think when I was younger that they did that to all black people. But, you know, but then I realized, nah, man, some people just look like some people. I used to get so mad. But yeah, I realized, yeah, some people just look like some people, and we can't get mad about that, right? And this guy looks like me. Well, we don't look like me, but we're the same ethnicity. And so, you know, for me to do it to him would have been like, hey, not you too, bro, you know, or whatever. Because for some reason I don't get that as upset. I didn't used to get that as upset when somebody else did it, like somebody that doesn't, you know, resemble that isn't in my ethnic class. If somebody that is in my ethnicity did it, I was like, okay, I can accept it kind of, maybe you're telling the truth. I can almost believe them a little more because I feel like they got a better eye. But I'm starting to realize that's not true. That's not true either, okay? We got to check the conclusions that we come to. A lot of times we have a likelihood to be wrong and we don't even know it. But anyway, I have a likelihood to be wrong. I'll just keep it on me. I don't care. You know, y'all perfect. You know, I'm wrong, right? Anyway, yeah, that's about it. Enjoy your day.